mind-altering device because I'm on the right-hand side and I'm shifting with my left hand. You walk to the car and you walk to the wrong side of the car. No, yeah, I don't get in that way. Then it happens. You realize I can't do drive-through. I would have to like lean over and scream out the window. So, and then you have this moment. It's like, what have I done? I'm gonna have to get out of the vehicle. In reality, you're activating the other half of your brain that you haven't been using all this time, and it's like meditation. It's not a bunch of nonsense. It's about activating your whole brain. Go to footprint right here. The PVC doesn't need paint. There is no finish. It is house-sided. I think like Zen art would be remove the sides altogether and put a little tree with a fountain in the back. But we're not going to do that. Instead, this is PVC vinyl siding for houses. It comes in a 4x8 foot sheet. PVC. It's thick. This stuff is heavy. It weighs 46 pounds. The 4x8 sheet. This is half inch. This up here is 3/8. So, these tiny little truck bed things are not exactly great for holding stuff, right? Anything taller than a foot or whatever. So that is 4 feet. So it's 4 feet from the bottom of this bed to here. Now that's well above my head already. You can see it's above the cab. The headache rack is there. You have these tie-outs, right? There's a loop here, there's a tie-out thing there. There's a rack here, right? So I could have plywood come out right above the cab to make this longer and raise this up a little. So in here you would have standing room on one side, and you climb up and there's a place you can sleep up there. This is a fountain of infinity. It never stops running. Okay, so I've got these two latches. This is very short. I can just step right up here. There's this big toolbox. I've got gas here. This big water container. I've got my stove in here and a couple of other cooking things. So that one over there. Easy. I'm driving 50 in a 100 zone because this is slow motion. What's the hurry? And there's nobody here. I mean, if you go double this speed, your car's all teetering and you're like, So there's a guy on YouTube, he had one of these trucks set up with kind of like gull wings where these sides would lift up, right? Like this would go up and it makes a roof on both sides plus the back. I thought that was cool. And side entry into these is pretty interesting because, you know, it's a big space. But this place is cold. It's cold, it's windy, it's wet, it's harsh. And for security reasons, if you make it that easy to open up, then anyone can open it up. So I decided against it. Instead, what I might do is make this back part up here go up. So on the back, you'd have a hinge and it goes up so you have a roof over you. You could do stuff if it was raining. I kind of like this as more of an open platform than something that looks like an RV or a living room, right? Like, there's no way I'm gonna have like kitchen cabinets and stuff like that in here. It's more like a Russian doll. One bag contains everything I could need on its own. But if I want more luxury, there's other items like this chair or that lounge back there. What if you go up here, so looking at the roof here, there's a rubber rack right here. It's just above the roof. I already got a 2x4 there. If I put plywood that goes out over the cab and raise these sides up another 2 feet, then this whole space becomes 6 feet tall and I don't bump my head. It would fit. And the profile doesn't change. It's not wider. It's only taller, right? So I'd be breaking the case. I already broke the case standard. It can't be this tall. It's a K failure. Bottom of this camera, the bottom of the handle grip thing is like on my dashboard, and that would be a pretty decent angle. But if it's back here, you get more of a kind of POV thing, and if it was up in the corner, you know, another kind of POV. If it's on my chest, you're just going to see my dashboard. So, some work to do here to figure this out. So think about this. I'm pulling over on the shoulder all the time. Or parking. I'm not on the highway side, right? I'm on the safe side. So like that car's over there. I'm on this side. Now on a narrow city street, you're a fool if you don't watch for the cars coming before you open your doors. So when you're in a car, this sunset phenomenon doesn't mean anything, really. You got bright lights and everything, right? You're all protected and cozy in your little ecosystem in your car. But let me tell you, you do this on a bike, that sunset means something. If you look how small the front of this truck is, the dashboard is here, and the front is right beside it, right? It's because there's no engine here. We've got fluids. It's a radiator. This is a coolant reservoir. There's a brake fluid thing. We have the jack. That's it. Nothing else here. I like this access to the jack. That's pretty simple. So far, it's been flawless. Okay, KNF concept, Pocket 3 wide angle lenses on here. And I'm gonna go body wearable. So it's in my hand right now. Tap the screen. I'm snapping this in. So I'm hands-free. Now, I thought the seat did not move. Like, I thought it wasn't adjustable. No, it is. There's a lever here. This seat moves. It moves quite a bit. You can see back here, that's maybe 5 inches. So I guess if you're a really short person, this might be like the ultimate vehicle. If you're a tall person, no, not so much. I'm like about as big as you can get, and I'm not very tall. But that is good because if you sit in the same position for like 6 hours, sometimes that's what you want, just to get like move all the way up or something, move it back. I've done a fair amount of highway driving. This is not a highway vehicle, but I was trying to get the seat released. Let's see if I can figure that out. The engine is under here. It bit me. It's vicious, like a cute little puppy dog that bites you. Oh man. Okay, so first I thought I was releasing the seat with that lever. No, that's how you slide it back and forth. Then I found these buckles, and I still couldn't get this up. So it released a hinge here. You can even see the hinges. The hinges are back there. This thing's lifting up. There's a lever here. So once you unlatch these, you have to push this back to tilt this up, because this is coming up, right? So I push that lever. So under here, like wow, that took me a while. I gotta know how to do this ahead of time in case I ever have to, in the middle of freaking nowhere. There's an engine block. You see manifold tubes. That alternator looks new. There's an alternator right there. So one side of the engine is here, and the other one's under the other seat, and the battery is over there. The battery, okay, so this looks like a air cleaner or something. It might be air conditioning. There's air conditioning on this thing. Okay, now that I know how it works, the other side. We have underneath the felt down in here, it's already released. And this This one is fixed position. The passenger seat is screwed right on. Two screws? Not here, because this moves. Only the driver's seat. So on this side, it's just these two levers. There is the battery. St. James Street. Yeah, that looks like this is from Winnipeg, this battery. 10-can battery, engine block, there's my oil fill. There is the electronic fuel injection. And how cool is that? You can get to all this from here. Now this little tiny truck, you can't grip how tiny it is until you stand there beside it. They are less than 11 feet long by standard. So if you look at trailers to be pulled by cars, like RV but not a drivable one, trailers, you look at the smallest ones, the smallest trailers are bigger than this entire truck. It is really short and it's quite narrow. Now, it looks like there's room underneath here. You could put like a fairly sizable underbody box. And same thing on this side. Oh, well, we have the gas thing here. I guess when you got winches and all that stuff and like, you know, a bunch of people, you get a little more confidence, but at the moment, oh my god, I'm kind of freaking out. This is not good. Muddy. It looks like I have to turn around. So setting the zoom to 2, you can see the fuel gauge, and I'm less than half a tank, and it was almost full. That means I'm gonna run out of gas, probably. So, turn this one off, and testing everything. So, it is locking, which is a good thing. And I do believe I turn it that way. You can see the fumes. These tiny little wheels. So am I gonna get big wheels? No. Am I gonna lift it? No. I'm gonna do a damn thing to it. It's just like scooter mods. The polar bears slide on their stomachs on thin ice. They slither like a snake on thin ice so they don't break through. place that is usually quite windy. No, it's ice. It's pure ice as far as the eye can see. What's freaky is how flat it is. There's hardly any snow. So this is not normal. There's a line you can see where it all broke. So the force is pushing it inward from the other side, from the open water, caused like a fissure in the ice. It's just like a tectonic plate. It started creating little mountains. If I step heavily, I fall into. It's a game trail right here. It's the deer going in here. I know for a fact bears are in here. So Helinox is just up to the edge here. The camera is back on this charger. And now we're going to test WindBurner. I was using WindPro, now I'm using WindBurner. MSR and MSR. So the camera is back on my chest. And we're testing this Reliance container. Am I going to build a sink into my truck? No. I might buy a plastic basin though, like a dishwashing basin. But this is a kitchen sink. 10-liter seat summit. This handle, when I looked at that, oh, that doesn't look very good. Actually, it works very well. You get your thumb on here. You can control this very well. In fact, if I put this back on, you can pour this as precisely as the tiny little kettle. Top down, like that. See that perfect amount of fuzziness. So it is kind of nuts that I've got three different filters here, right? Paper on the inside, and then the Seat to Summit Frontier collapsible thing, and this Snow Peak. This crazy thing was $90. I'm a coffee fanatic. Okay, let's go POV view to examine. Oh, I've got a partially eaten muffin here. To examine the Mobicool. So you have this kind of control panel under here with a switch, hot, cold, and off. The DC cord plugs in here, and it still closes. It's working great. As soon as I turn on the vehicle, this is a refrigerator. Turn it off, it's not. But these ice packs are still solid ice. So these have not melted at all. In, what is it? I don't know, 4 or 5 hours? They have not melted at all. We got 2 liters of milk. I've got some muffin things here. Of course, that doesn't need to be in here, but I'm putting all my food in here. These are cheese buns. And this is an entire chicken. So what I'm going to do is take half of this chicken and throw it in a MSR frying pan and just heat that up. This is cooked, right? It's when you buy it, you could eat it right out of the store. It's already hot. So you can't just stick a regular old pan on top of this wind burner because you snuff out the oxygen, right? As soon as I put that on there, flame will go out. This jet boil thing fits it in there. Lifts this up. I can't see why that shouldn't work, so let's see what happens. Now I remember the word I couldn't think of. Radiant. This burner is red hot. See that it's got some shade there. It's a radiant heat. And it's bare. If you compare the size of that burner to most stoves, it's huge. So instead of trying to outfit this truck like an RV, I want all these pieces to move around, like this chair. It's on the ground. Like that cot hammock thing in the corner there. That thing, go on the ground. Go on the truck bed. Go on the roof of the truck. Same with all this cookware. This, you could use it on my body. Use it here. So this little thermos thing, the WindBurner Duo whole set is in here with a full-size 1 pound canister, and I still have the top where I'm putting the cup that I use to make coffee with, and these filter things. It's a fairly small kitchen. So it's the size of somebody's lunchbox, right? That's what it's supposed to be, your lunchbox. It's the whole kitchen, except for this one pan. That's everything. What else do I need? So I bought this hip pack. It's an MEC product, and I've got, so I keep the neck mount for this Pocket 3 in here, along with the tiny tripod, handle grip thing, Pgytech. They're both Pgytech. Keep the camera in here. Here's the little grip that's a tripod. Right now I have the tilt head that I took off the monopod. In these sides, I've got K&F Concept. I've got a macro lens for this camera. I haven't even tried it yet. On one side, I have their wide angle lens on the other. Mic 2 is in one of these pockets, and the battery handle is here. This is the new monopod, new tilt head, 3 handlebar clamps. The Sony's up there. The magic about this monopod is how small it is. Because when you collapse it, it's only 15 inches. Now I can put the Portacapture right here, or if I'm in a hurry, like I just was, plug one of these wires in. This Hyperlite, that's a quick release, it's locked. This camera goes into a Lowepro padded case that's in the front of this Hyperlite, and then I just have this whole assembly ready to go. with the Portacapture usually. This thing is giant. It's a 70-liter waterproof pack. So it shrinks down to almost nothing and it weighs almost nothing. But it can expand to 70 liters. So on the monopod, I've got these two identical video mic go-tos, and they were on the Portacapture, the two of them, on this clamp here. Now, they are USB mics. So now one of these, just one, is plugged in USB to this camera. Similarly, one of them can go to the Sony. So Sue is my skeletal structures. This piece is the monopod, and it's absolutely perfect. At the bottom, you have a spike thing. If you turn it the other way, the spike disappears. On my other one, the rubber foot came off. A tube pushed into the other tube. I couldn't get it out. I ended up taking it all apart. This is a much better design. The Sue L10 tilt head, this is the real deal. I had a Benro. It proved the concept to me that this is what I need. And it's true. I just need a tilt head. If I'm doing telephoto zoom or like those HDR slow motion, I can turn the monopod however I want. I need to angle it this way. This one dampens down precision enough so I can get the camera to not move, yet I just push it and it'll stay wherever I push it. The button here is locked. I slid it over, that comes off. I've got this monopod. I grabbed this only one hand. It's in there. Slide this. It's impossible for that to come out. Slide it back. I would use two hands to do this, to release it, just in case. So the tilt head releases with this button. Sony camera snaps on without the tilt head, but I almost always want it for the Sony. So this snaps on, that snaps on. These lock. Pushing the button does nothing. You can't release that. It is impossible for that to come off. It's not possible. Then the three handlebar clamps, one is holding the Tascam Portacapture. The other two are holding these dual video mic go-tos. The XLR adapter for my headset is here. This is a low profile coil XLR cable running on the inside. So I punched a hole for this cable to come in. I punched a hole for that belt clip to slide in there. The headset wire locks in. The wire is here for the Sony. The USB is over here. I cut a slot. The USB can come out of there. You take this zipper, zip that up. It's a padded case. If I turn this on, so it's powering on, and so I press record. It's recording. I slide this button up, hold is on. Touching it does nothing anyway. You zip this up, you're still recording. It's in this case. So these little birds are like right here on the side of the road, having a little bath party. And think about it. There was no water, right? So I moved about 6 feet ahead. And now we're going HFR slow motion. It's a mind-altering device because I'm on the right-hand side and I'm shifting with my left hand